Hello and welcome back to another half-hour segment. Welcome back to the next 25 minutes of Vaughan and Vivo. My name is Richard Vaughan, as you know, and we're going to continue now with me alone for the next 25 minutes. And when I finish today with this segment, when I finish this segment, then the class for today, at least for the moment, is over. The class is over means se termina la clase. And then you need to study in expectation of the next class. Okay, there is a pen on the table. There's a book on the table. There's a cup of water on the table. There's a microphone on the table. There's a person in front of you, and that person is me. There is, cuando es singular, en el presente, there are several objects on the table. There are 10 fingers in front of you. They are mine. There are a lot of cows in Texas. There are a lot of cows in Spain. There are a lot of people in Spain. And there are a lot of people in Canada, but fewer people in Canada than in Spain. There are, cuando es presente. There is when it's singular. There are when we are speaking about plural things. And if we're speaking in the past, yesterday there was an explosion in a factory in Mexico City. Yesterday there was a hurricane in the Caribbean. Last week, there was a tornado in Alabama. There was, cuando es singular. Y claro, cuando es plural, there were. There were 2 tornadoes in Alabama last week. There were 5 explosions in Greenland last year. There were 2 important forest fires in California last month. There was, there were. Impersonal. Hay, hubo, habrá. Ahora habrá. Tomorrow, there will be another class. Next week, there will be 5 new classes with me. Next year, there will be a general election in this country. And next week, there will be a holiday. Perhaps, who knows? There will be. Y there will be es habrá, es el futuro. Cuando hay, ahora, hubo ayer o había ayer, y habrá mañana. Y there will be es para plural y singular. There will be 1 strike next week. Habrá una huelga. O habrá 2 huelgas. There will be 2 strikes. It doesn't change. Ahora, si dices va a haber, que es lo mismo, mañana habrá una huelga. Mañana va a haber una huelga. It's the same. There's going to be. Ahora, si pluralizo aquí, que va a haber 2 huelgas, en inglés decimos, como los levantinos en España, van a haber. Hubieron. Habrán. Pluralizamos. There are going to be 2 strikes next week in Valencia. There is going to be 1 strike in Andalusia next week, but in Valencia there are going to be 2. There are going to be a lot of problems. Va a haber muchos problemas, ya verás. There are going to be a lot of problems, ya verás. You'll see, there are going to be a lot of problems. Ha habido muchos problemas últimamente. Ahora es presente perfecto en inglés. There have been. Ahora, fijaos, es siempre there. Todo lo que estoy diciendo empieza con la palabra there. Hay un problema ahora. There is a problem now. There was a problem yesterday. There will be a problem tomorrow. There has been a problem lately. In plural, there have been many problems lately. There is, there are. Now, antes hubo muchos problemas aquí, pero ya no hay. O antes había. There used to be a lot of problems. Otra vez es con there, más una forma del verbo to be. There used to be. There used to be. So I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you try to answer the questions. I want you to tell me if there used to be less or more of something, or fewer or more of something. In Spain, for example. For example, parking problems. Are there any parking problems in Spain now? Yes, of course. In many neighborhoods, in many cities, there are serious parking problems. It's not easy to find a parking space. It's not easy to find a parking place. Ambas expresiones valen. Parking space, parking place. Normally, personally, I say parking place, but many people say parking space. Is it easy or difficult to find a parking place in Barcelona? Usually it's difficult. Is it easy or difficult to find a parking place in Madrid? Usually it's difficult. Okay. Now, There used to be more parking spaces in Madrid, or parking problems. Did there used to be or not more parking problems? Well, in my opinion, there used to be more parking problems in Madrid than there are now. There are fewer parking problems now in Madrid than there used to be. There are fewer, repito todo, there are fewer parking problems now in Madrid than there used to be. Why? Because the current mayor of the city, the current mayor, not the past mayor, but the current mayor, not the future mayor, sino, but the current mayor. No se dice el actual mayor. En inglés, actual no significa actual. Current significa, or present mayor. The current mayor made some changes in his first term in office, and now some areas of Madrid and Barcelona, I think, but some areas, especially in Madrid, the parking is easier. You have to pay, but parking is easier. So there aren't as many problems now as there used to be. There are fewer problems now than there used to be. There aren't as many. Estoy diciendo de distintas formas lo mismo. There used to be more problems than there are now. Antes había más problemas para aparcar de lo que hay ahora, de los que hay ahora. Fijaos, there used to be, antes había. There used to be more problems, parking problems, than there are now. Which means there are fewer parking problems now than before. Pero muchas veces no decimos before, aunque es correcto. Decimos there are fewer parking problems now than there used to be. Or a third possibility, there aren't as many parking problems now as there used to be. So, the question, parking problems. Well, there are fewer parking problems today than there used to be because the current mayor made some changes and changed the law, and he has solved a little, not completely, the parking problems in this city. Question, is there more or less superstition now in Spain than there used to be? Superstition? Superstition? Well, in my opinion, there is much less superstition now in Spain than there used to be. There used to be a lot of superstition in Spain. But many, many years ago, if you study the paintings and the engravings by Goya, you see that he lived in a period of Spanish history in which there were a lot of superstitions, or there was a lot of superstition. But that's not only a case of Spain, in every country. If you go back 100 years before Goya in the United States, there was a lot of superstition. You remember the witch trials in Salem, Las Brujas de Salem, Massachusetts. There were witch trials. Why? Because there was a lot of superstition. Now, the question is, ¿hay más o menos superstición hoy en día de lo que había antes? Well, now there's less superstition in Spain than there used to be. There used to be more, but there isn't as much anymore. There isn't as much superstition. Antes dije sobre los problemas de aparcar, there aren't as many parking problems as there used to be. Y ahora cambia superstición, que es más o menos abstracto, es una masa. There isn't as much, not there aren't as many. There isn't as much superstition as there used to be. There used to be more, especially in the 19th and 18th centuries in Spain. Question, are there as many flies now in Spain as there used to be? Did there used to be more flies in Spain than there are now? To tell you the truth, I've been here for enough years to make a statement about this. I think there aren't as many flies in Spain now as there used to be. There aren't as many flies in Spain now as there used to be. There used to be, in my opinion, there used to be a lot more. Yeah, a lot more flies. There's a fly on the camera now, on that camera. But really, there aren't as many flies today as there used to be. My question is, there's a fly on the other camera. I'm going to look at the other camera. No, there aren't any flies on that camera. So I'll use this camera for the moment. No hay tantas moscas como antes había en este país. Antes había más. There aren't as many flies in Spain as there used to be. There used to be a lot more, as you say in Spanish, a lot more. There used to be a lot more flies. there used to be. Antes había. Hay ahora. There are now. There were yesterday. There will be tomorrow. There used to be. There used to be more flies. When I came to Spain, I remember there were more flies. I remember working in certain places and there were flies everywhere. Yeah. Now, no. Maybe it's the change in global warming. Maybe it's the air conditioning in the interior buildings. I don't know. But my impression is that there used to be more flies than there are now, which means there aren't as many flies now as there used to be. O si te gusta la palabra fewer, lo podemos emplear aquí. There are fewer flies in Spain than before. There are fewer flies now than there used to be. Okay. Foreign banks. Well, bancos extranjeros. Foreign banks like Citibank, etc. Foreign banks. There used to be fewer foreign banks than there are now. Now there are more. When I came to Spain in 1972, 73, 74, I don't remember. In fact, I don't remember any foreign banks when I first came. I imagine there were a few specialized banks, maybe wholesale banking or special type of banking. But I don't remember any, really, in the mid-1970s, late 1970s. I'm sure there were a few, but they had very small offices for very specific bank clientele. So now there are more. There are more foreign banks than there used to be. There used to be fewer, but now there are more. There didn't used to be many banks. Now there are a lot more. Foreign football players. Well, when I came to Spain in the 70s, there were very few foreign football players playing in the major teams in Madrid. In Spain, that is. I remember in the Spanish team, in the Spanish teams in Barcelona, I remember Kubala, but I think he was a nationalized Spanish. So he was from Hungary, I believe. I think he was from Hungary, wasn't he? But he was nationalized Spanish. I remember on the Real Madrid there was one or two, Roberto Martinez perhaps, but I don't remember. But now there are a lot of foreign football players. My God, there are a lot more foreign football players playing in the Spanish league than there used to be. There used to be very few, very, very few. In fact, there used to be a law, una ley. There used to be, antes había. There used to be a law in which each club could only have two players. I remember Real Madrid had Breitner and Netzer. Okay, I remember. They had just two. I remember Barcelona had Cruyff and Neskens, only two. But then it became liberalized and more foreign football players. And now some teams have more foreigners than Spanish players. Some teams. So it's true that there are more foreign football players in the Spanish league than there used to be. There used to be fewer than there are now. Modern appliances in the kitchen. Modern appliances. Do you know what an appliance is? I'll tell you in the other camera if you move. The other appliance. Modern appliances. What is an appliance? Se escribe appliance. What's an appliance? Well, when you go into your kitchen, you see a stove or a hob, que es la cocina, con los quemadores, and you see a toaster to make toast. Maybe you see a coffee maker. Maybe you see a dishwasher for washing dishes. Maybe you see a washing machine. You see a refrigerator. Maybe you see I don't know what you call it in English, a mini pima, these things you make to grind things. You see a coffee grinder. These are modern appliances. These are appliances, what you call in Spanish electrodomésticos. We call them kitchen appliances or electrical, con A-L al final, appliances, escrito appliances, con doble P. Appliances, appliances, second syllable. Now, modern appliances. Are there more or fewer modern appliances today than there used to be in Spain? There are more. It's very clear. You go to any large department store or specialized shop and you see all kinds of possible kitchen appliances, bathroom appliances. You see a lot. All kinds. Aquí en castellano decimos toda clase de electrodomésticos. Toda clase, clase en singular. En inglés decimos todas clases de. Pluralizamos por todo la expresión. All kinds of electrical appliances or kitchen appliances, home appliances, or in this case, modern appliances. And there are more modern appliances or kitchen appliances now than there used to be. There used to be very few. When I came to Spain, I remember they had a pasapure. They didn't have a mini pyme. Between you and me, it was better. I prefer. For example, a puré de judías or de lentejas. It's better using the old Spanish pasapure than using the more modern appliance called a mini pyme. There used to be very few kitchen appliances, electrical appliances. Now there are quite a few. Antes había pocos. Ahora hay bastantes. There used to be a few. Now there are quite a few. Yeah, okay. And now kitchens are very modernized, and the housewife or the cook has everything. It's very easy because of the kitchen appliances. So there are more modern appliances in the Spanish home now than there used to be. There used to be fewer appliances. Donkeys. Donkeys. What's a donkey? A donkey is an animal. A donkey. A donkey is similar to a horse, but is a different species. But a horse and a donkey can mate. Yes, puedes cruzar. And the product is a mule, un mulo, una mula, is the product of a donkey and a horse. Now, donkeys. Are there more donkeys now in Spain or fewer donkeys now than there used to be? It's clear. There are fewer donkeys now than there used to be. There used to be a lot more. I remember seeing a lot of donkeys in the mid-'70s, early '70s, even in the late '70s and early '80s. Now, it's very rare to see a donkey. Just the other day, I was driving from Madrid to a town in the province of Avila, and I saw a donkey. I was driving my car, and on the side of the road, up in a field, there was a donkey, typical donkey, standing, doing nothing, not moving. But I looked at it. I looked at the donkey. I was thinking, interesting animal, the donkey, the big ears, typical. Why? Because I never see donkeys anymore. For me, it's something new. Whereas, mientras que hace 30 años, whereas 30 years ago, it was a common sight in Spain to see donkeys, yeah. So there used to be more donkeys. Now there are fewer donkeys. There are fewer donkeys than there used to be. There are fewer donkeys than there used to be. There aren't as many donkeys. There aren't. Aren't es una sola sílaba. No se dice aren't. There aren't as many donkeys as there used to be. Okay. Traffic congestion. For me, it's the same. Traffic congestion. A traffic jam es una palabra, una expresión muy socorrida que hasta los profesores de inglés lo usamos en clase, pero realmente no es correcto. A traffic jam es un atasco puntual en un sitio puntual en un momento puntual que se forma si los semáforos dejan de funcionar bien en un cruce de calles importantes. Se crea un traffic jam. Jam es como que atascado. Now, en general, los atascos, el tráfico de una ciudad grande en este mundo, in every country, big cities suffer traffic congestion. We usually don't say traffic jams. Heavy traffic, we have two expressions, heavy traffic and traffic congestion. Now, my question here, is there more or less traffic congestion in the big cities in Spain than there used to be? I don't know. I'll tell you on the other camera when I change, maybe. Is there more or less traffic congestion in Spain than there used to be? I think it's about the same. Why? I've been here for many, many years, as you know. I've told you many times. And I have been driving in Spain. I bought my first, when I bought my first car in Spain in 1977. Okay, a Simca, I remember. And I remember there was a lot of traffic congestion then. But I also remember that the streets and the highways or motorways were always congested. Okay, they were always congested at that time. There were fewer tunnels in Madrid and Barcelona. There were fewer overpasses. Realmente no son túneles, muchos son pasos subterráneos, okay, which is not really a tunnel. A tunnel is long. An underpass is the opposite of an overpass, okay? For example, if you have an intersection where two big streets come together and a crossing, we usually say intersection. There are several ways you can control the traffic in this confluence of four streets, or really two streets that cross. One way is to simply put traffic lights, and then you normally have traffic congestion around that intersection. Another way is to put a roundabout, or a traffic circle, a roundabout. Typical in the British, and it's the British concept of the roundabout has been imported to Spain, okay? And it's successful in many intersections. But in major intersections, it usually doesn't work because there's too much traffic. So another possibility is to put an underpass and an overpass. An underpass means the cars go under and the other cars go above. Or an overpass, cars go over and the other cars go under. So when I came to Spain, there were very few underpasses and overpasses in the city, or tunnels, or fast connections. And so there was a lot of traffic congestion then. Also, most of the highways and motorways, se dice motorway en inglés británico para autopista. Autopista es motorway. En Estados Unidos se dice interstate highway. Ahora, road es carretera normal. En América solemos decir highway. Most of the highways were two-lane highways. Two-lane highways. A lane, escrito lane, es carril. One lane going one way, one lane going another way. I remember the first time I drove to Burgos, my God, it took forever. It took forever simply to reach Alcobendas from the center of Madrid because of the traffic. Now, there are a lot of four-lane highways. There are some super highways, motorways. There's some carriageways. Los británicos para autovía dicen carriageway. There are a lot of four-lane highways, carreteras de cuatro carriles, dos en cada sentido. Two lanes going in one direction, two lanes going in the other direction. So there are a lot of four-lane highways now. But still, aún así, still, there's a lot of traffic congestion. Why? Because there are simply more cars. So there are more cars in Spain than there used to be. Many families have 2 cars. Some families have 3 and even 4 cars. And when I came to Spain, very few families had more than 1 car. And many families didn't have a car. So there are more cars than there used to be. And that's why there should be more traffic congestion now than there used to be, but there isn't. It's about the same, because many years ago, there were fewer tunnels, overpasses, underpasses, and superhighways. So it's about the same. So it's not true necessarily that there's more traffic congestion now than there used to be. And finally, children. Are there more children or fewer children than there used to be? Clearly in Spain, there are fewer children than there used to be. There used to be more. There used to be many families, what you called familias numerosas. Now there are very few families with more than 2 children. Some have 3 children, 4 children. Immigrant families often have more. The immigrant families are producing more children than the autochthonous or the Spanish families. But there are fewer children than there used to be. All right, now, is your English better now than it used to be? Aquí no estoy usando there. There is, there are. But it's important. Is your English better now than it used to be? I hope so. And if you continue watching this program, in the future you will say, my English is better than it used to be. There are more opportunities to improve your English than there used to be. And one important opportunity is this show, this program, and this channel, Aprende Inglés TV, conmigo, with Richard Vaughan. All right, time to say goodbye. Time to say so long. So long means hasta la vista. So long. Take care. Take it easy. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope to see you tomorrow or next week. As soon as possible, I hope so. Thank you very much, and study. All right, thank you.